Okay, so slight change of plans. We are actually going to do a revote. And just a heads up for the record, for now on, earlier in the weekend, I had made a post about suggestions for mod pack ideas. Didn't get a whole lot of suggestions on that. And then when I posted the video about the vote, I got a bunch of really great suggestions. So for now on, when I do a vote or something like that, I'm going to do a video first. Because I know posting on Twitter and Discord and stuff, it can get lost kind of in everything. So for now on, I'm just going to do a video and give you guys a heads up. And I think that'll be a little bit easier to find and be like, oh, okay, I want to suggest this, or whatever. Which I have no problems with. That's all on me. It's not, that's my fault for not doing that in the first place. So we're going to do a revote. And I took the way the poll was going on the last vote. And I took that into account, and there wasn't a whole lot of interest in things like vanilla Minecraft or something other than Minecraft or, anything of that nature. So, and the waiting and all the mods expert in the sea, those kind of things, there wasn't a whole lot of interest in those. So I'm going to take the top three. Those are the ones that was the only three that really got substantial votes and substantial interest in them. That is Age of Engineering, Farming Valley, Ardent Craft. Okay, those three are going to go on to our final vote, let's say. Let's pretend like the last vote was just a test run, a test drive. So we're going to take those three, and I'm going to take three suggestions that you guys made on the last video, okay? Because there were some really good suggestions, mod packs that I'd overlooked or not thought about, or ones that I misunderstood. Which I'll get into that in a second. That is Homestead. But anyways, I'm going to take those three top votes and I'm going to put them into a new vote. So I do apologize if you guys have already voted. I'm sorry. I wasn't planning on doing a revote, but you guys made some really good suggestions, and I wanted to kind of change up the framework of the voting system. And the vote's going to run up until about the weekend, probably about Saturday night. I'll probably cut it off. So you guys have until then to vote, and then starting next week, the new series will be thrown into the mix. Okay. So anyways, the three mod packs that you guys suggested down in the comments that I looked at, and I was like, this is really good. We should put this into the vote. They are Divine Journey, Homestead, and Future's Edge. Okay, and I'm going to go over all three of those because they're all three really, really cool packs. Age of Engineering, really, really cool pack. Farming Valley, also really, really cool. I love the idea behind that. And Ardent Craft, also a really neat pack. Now, one thing I will make note of, and I know it was mentioned in the comments, Ardent Craft, as far as a mod pack goes, it has been discontinued, like as far as work on it, and it's slightly unfinished. When I was on my test world, I noticed there was a couple of quest tabs that didn't have anything in them. At the time, I was thinking, well, I'll probably have to do something to unlock those. But then, after that comment was made about it being unfinished, it was like, oh yeah, I was in creative, it should have been unlocked anyway. I just wasn't thinking. So there is a little bit of unfinished aspect to Ardent Craft. However, the pack still has about 900 quests in it. Or over 900, I didn't count them, but over 900 quests is what is stated on the mod pack description. So there's still tons of content there. There's no real downside to, maybe some of the quests not being finished. Might be the end game, but at the end of the day, I don't need quests to play Minecraft. That's just an added little benefit. So even still, it still seems like a fun pack. Lycanites, mobs, all that good stuff. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. Now, in addition, with this vote, I'm going to do one slight change to the way that it works. Instead of only being able to vote on one thing, I know I had a lot of people say, well, if I had 2 votes, I would have voted on this as well, things of that nature. So I'm going to allow you guys to vote on however many of the 6 that you want. Okay, things that you're interested in. You could say, I'm interested in Homestead, Age of Engineering, Farming Valley, Ardent Craft, so on. However, just bear in mind that when you go to vote, if you vote for multiples, every additional vote that you add decreases the value of that vote, basically. Because, for example, if you voted on all 6 of them, well, then your vote's just basically null and void. Okay? So, you've basically given all of them a 1-up. So, in effect, you've done nothing as far as swaying the votes to one side or the other. So, the less things that you vote on, the more impact it's going to have as far as actually getting the packs that you want, higher up on the ranking, I guess would be the way to put it. So there's no real way within straw poll to limit you to, like, say 3 votes or something like that. So, use your best judgment. If you're like, I'd really like to see these 3 packs, go ahead and vote for those, and then, whatnot. But just bear in mind that the more you vote on, the less sway it's going to have one way or the other. So, but anyways, with that, let's go ahead and talk about each of the 3 packs that I'm adding briefly. The one I'm in right now, this is actually breaking a rule of mine. I'm trying to move away from 1.7. This pack is actually in 1.7, however. You'll notice there's all kinds of animals floating about and stuff. But I decided to break this rule just like I did with Project Ozone. Project Ozone was kind of an exception to the rule. And this pack, I'm going to break that rule and go ahead and offer it to you guys. This is Divine Journey. This pack features hundreds of quests, like over 800 or something like that. I mean, there's a ton in here. And it also features a full achievement book. It talks about the different progression phases that you would go through. And I mean, there's a lot in this achievement book. I was flipping through this. I mean, there's hundreds of things to mark off of this. But if you look at the second page of the achievement book, basically the idea of the mod pack, the main primary goal of the mod pack, is to make infinite infinity ingots by placing an infinity ingot into a creative strongbox. That's the goal of the pack. However, to do that, you're going to have to go through a ton of dimensions, a ton of mods, just all kinds of stuff. You can see right here it includes dimensions like Runic Dungeons, Twilight Forest, Deep Dark, Eldritch Dimension, the Dream World, Torment's Maze, RF Tools Worlds, and Divine RPG. Okay, Divine RPG, for those of you that don't know, is a massive mod. It actually adds all these whales and sharks and, what is this, plesiosaurs? Or Leopolodron. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. But Divine RPG adds a ton of mobs into the world. It also adds in a ton of dimensions. If you played Mad Pack 3, that was my last time playing with Divine RPG. One of my favorite 1.7 mods, though. It adds a ton of stuff, a ton of dimensions and everything. I think it adds like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 dimensions. A bunch of dimensions. More dimensions than like any other mod adds. So you're going to have to go through all of that stuff. If you look at the actual progression, you can see, I mean, there's Thermal Expansion, Ender IO, just a lot of the standard tech mods. There's a lot of magical mods. Blood Magic, Botania, Magical Crops, Thaumcraft, just all kinds of stuff. All kinds of magic. Witchery is another one. It's very late game within this pack, but Witchery is in the pack. And it also adds a full quest book with 800 quests. Okay, 800 quests in this quest book. And I mean, you can look in here and say insane amounts of magic, for example. I mean, there's just tons of stuff. This is all like Thaumcraft, Thaumic Energistic stuff. Exploration, you have a bunch of stuff. You got farming with a bunch of stuff. There's just massive amounts of quests, lots to do. And also this pack has very heavy tweaking. It's like Project Ozone level, if not even crazier than that. Because, for example, if you take a look at Infinity Ingot, that's the goal to craft, right? The Infinity Ingot requires 50 full mana pools to craft it. And then if you actually look at the recipe, it requires a couple Chaos Shards, a couple Neutronium Ingots. It requires this Zivi Deco Essence, which is super compressed essence. Like, super expensive stuff. Massive VCOs, a VCO, very, very expensive. And then in addition, it requires Soul Fragments, which require Warm Blood from Witchery and Green Heart canisters. Warm Blood has been tweaked, so it requires Ethereal Slates and high-end either Orb of Testing, which is Creative Mode, or Blood Orb of Armok, which is Avaridia. If you take a look, you can actually get a lot of the creative items, Orb of Testing, for example, but it requires just massively expensive stuff. That is, of course, Thaumcraft Infusion. If you take a look at the Creative Strongbox, it requires a ton of stuff. Creative Caches, which require a ton of stuff. All this stuff requiring a ton of stuff. So, Dragon Glass, you've got just all kinds of custom work, custom recipes, creative sponges, just crazy stuff. And I mean, that's true across the board. Like, everything is super tweaked. I mean, if you look at a furnace, for example, just a standard vanilla furnace, it requires 4 compressed cobblestone, a couple pieces of standard cobblestone, cobblestone slabs, and blocks of coal. Okay, just to make a standard vanilla furnace. This is a very extreme pack. I honestly feel like past the point of copper mode on Project Ozone. You know, especially with Thaumcraft in the mix. You know, that's a lot of stuff that. What is this? Oh, that's a village. It's got that town mod in there. But like I said, I mean, this is a 1.7 pack, so you know, just a heads up on that. But it's one that I'm willing to break my rule for, just because of certain mods being in it, witchery and different things. For storage, it's got AE2, you know, so on. But anyways, this is like I said, Divine Journey. Very large undertaking, to say the least. Now, next up we have Homestead. This is a very hardcore pack, and this is one that actually turned me off at first. It does have some mods, like Astral Sorcery and stuff within it. But as far as starting out, you know, you're going to have to really work your way up. Furnaces require iron, so to actually make your first furnace, I don't know if you can find iron in, like, villager chests, if you can get lucky and find that. But generally, you're going to have to make a Tinker Smeltery to get iron. Also, as far as progression, you know, you can't go straight into, you know, electrical power, for example. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make yourself like a windmill. So, for example, like starting out, what you would do is you'd have to, I mean, as far as energy goes, it's a little ways into the pack before you can make a windmill, but, you know, you would have to get into gearboxes and axles and set up your windmill, and then what you could do is you could get yourself an actual saw. And this is a lot of better with mods, which is a really cool mod. And what you'll do is you'd have to bring your axles down. Okay, there we go. I had the gearbox turned the wrong way. But you'd attach your gearbox in and connect it up with axles. So basically, as this turn, it turns the axles. And then what you would have to do is then place your saw down. And now you could use an automatic saw. Okay, and this, what you could do then is, say, grab yourself some oak wood. It's actually kind of funny because some of these packs have this where it looks like I'm falling. Has that, like, better movement and stuff. I actually like this mod a lot, and it adds a lot, I think, to Minecraft. But when you're in creative mode, it's actually kind of funny to watch. But anyways, then what you could do is put the oak wood down, and it would cut it down into 6 wood planks, oak bark, which is actually really, really useful for, like, tanning leather and stuff. Then you also have sawdust. So that would be like how you actually start with energy, is mechanical energy, the movement of windmills, water mills, things like that, and then later on get into actual electrical power. But it's very much kind of an uphill climb, you know, and nighttime is pretty nasty. You can see we have these like super creeping zombies kind of sneaking around, and these nasty spiders. I mean, all the mobs are like very well done. If we go into survival mode, also you have thirst, so that is something that you have to take into consideration. Look at those creeping zombies. Like, that is in fact very creepy. And that spider, the way they kind of like hobble. Oh wow, he's actually shooting the bow, and he has a sword in his hand too. But anyways, nighttime is very, very nasty. It doesn't have things like Lycanite's mobs or anything within the pack, but still the amount of mobs and the fact that it's such a workup towards, you know, getting anything very strong. It does make nighttime very, very dangerous. Torches will burn out and just all kinds of things of that nature. Mining is revamped. Can't just go down and dig for 30 minutes and have tons of iron and gold. You know, it's a lot more difficult. Resources aren't as plentiful. And it's very much a difficult focused pack. And when it comes to crafting, say, armor and stuff, you're going to have to do that on an anvil. You can see it actually has a slightly larger crafting table where it requires more diamonds, leather straps, things like that. I believe swords are pretty standard because you're going to be doing a lot of Tinker's swords. Yeah, Tinker's swords is pretty much the only swords that you're going to have access to, aside from the Astral Sorcery ones. So, but yeah, it's very much a different type of mod pack. You know, a lot more. it would be difficult, but it would be a lot of fun, and it's visually very stunning. Also, leaves you fall through, by the way. You do fall right through those, so just a heads up. And it does feature a quest book. However, this quest book, if you take a look here, let me mark that off. Like Leaf Puncher, for example, they want you to get some sticks. You don't really get rewards. There's a couple little quests. I know the Tinker stuff, you get the materials and U-book, but it's like a quest book without any kind of reward for completing the quest for the most part, you know. So it's really relying on you. It's just kind of something that you can follow to get an idea of what you should be doing next. So, and this gravity system is great. I love this. It would make breaking down trees a bit easier. Like I have some nice little wood piles set here, just for me to go break. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at Future's Edge now. And then last up we have Future's Edge. Now this one, for one, it actually has its own like storyline. You have chapter 1 and so on. And then it has a full quest tree, as you can tell. This pack does have some interesting additions, like it has bees. It also has blood magic. It has Project E. There's also Psy, as you guys know. Psy, I think Psy is an interesting mod. It's not something that I foresee myself using anytime I get into a modded Minecraft type situation, because at the end of the day, the stuff's kind of like, it would be good in vanilla, but, you know, compared to other options, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. But if we take a look here, the Philosopher's Stone actually takes a bit of stuff to craft. I mean, there is a little bit of tweaking within this pack. It's nothing too crazy. I mean, the Philosopher's Stone you could actually get into fairly early. You know, if we played this, I don't know that I would use Project E, because there's not enough tweaking, there's not enough expensive recipes like Project Ozone or something like that for me that necessitates Project E. That's one of those mods that I'm always like, why is that in here? But aside from that, you know, there's some pretty nice little quest lines. But the thing that excites me the most about this is it does feature Lycanites mobs, just like Ardent Craft. I mean, that aspect of it's kind of nice. I do wish there was more recipe tweaking within this pack, I will say that. Because I feel like it could benefit from that. Like I said, there's a few recipes that are tweaked. I'm actually flying around here to see if I can come across any Lycanites, just to be like, oh look, Lycanites. Aha, I found one. It's actually one of my favorite mobs from Lycanites mobs. We have the Warg. It might be due to realistic world gen, realistic terrain, because I'm in kind of a mountainy area. I haven't encountered a ton of Lycanites mobs. It's also possible the spawns may be changed slightly, like spawning rates. If the spawn rates are low, I would probably bump them up. I'd go in the configs and bump those up a bit. Because personally, I like Lycanites mobs a lot. This guy would probably shred me to death. Let's actually... Oh yeah, he's giving me paralysis. So, I can't really move. I move like super slow. But I could actually beat him with just my fists. See, Lycanites isn't too bad. Wait a second. Yeah, there we go. The hunter hunted. Well, they actually added... See, I haven't used Lycanites in a bit. They actually added mods for, like, some of these, which is really cool. Oh, yeah, see, Lycanites has its own, like, kill all these mobs. By the way, these are all, like different mobs and then adding them to your bestiary and then taming them. So every single line on this is a different mob that's added within Lycanites, and they're all really high quality. That's why it's hands down, it's one of my favorite mods ever. Just end of story. I know a lot of people don't like it. I love Lycanites because just the quality. You know, aside from Mousie's mobs, which we encountered, you know, on Sprout, I think it is the best mob mod ever. Like, you know, Ender Zoo doesn't even compare when it comes to Lycanites and Mousies. So, and another really nice feature of this mod pack is it does include the mod Da Vinci's Vessels. Really cool mod. If you ever played with, it was the airship mod. I can't remember. I don't think it used to be called Da Vinci's Vessels. It was called something else. I can't recall. But basically you can add you can create airships and like boats and stuff like that, and actually like drive them around, you know, and you can actually put storage on them and just all kinds of fun stuff like that. It's a really, really cool mod. Like I said, this mod pack, this is Future's Edge. Not as much recipe tweaking as I would hope for. For the most part, it's fairly standard. A little bit of tweaking, but the fact that it has Lycanites, it has Da Vinci's vessels and stuff like that, I feel like it could make for a fairly interesting mod pack. As far as magic mods, I mean, it's a lot of exploration, a bit of tech. Magic mods, there's really just, blood magic, I believe. I don't think there's really anything else. And Project E. Blood magic and Project E, if you count that as magic, is really about it. But it does have really good tech offerings and stuff like that. So, but anyways, I just thought I'd throw this one in as well, and give you guys the option. So those are the 6. So we've got Divine Journey, Homestead, Age of Engineering, Farming Valley, Ardent Craft, and Future's Edge. Now, if you guys want me to, I can do a short video, kind of like in this video. You know, we kind of went through each mod pack and just briefly looked at them. If you guys want me to do that for Age of Engineering, Farming Valley, and Ardent Craft, I can do that. I did not think about doing it when I first announced those 3. So, and I don't want to make this video like super long, because I just want to basically tell you guys, you know, we're going to do a revote and update you guys on that. Once again, I am so sorry that I didn't do a video asking for suggestions first. It's on me, and I do apologize. Of course, if you've already voted, you can still vote, you know, on the new vote. It's going to be a totally new poll. And the link will be down in the description of the video, and I'll also, you know, post it on Twitter and Facebook and the channel discussion and Discord. So, anyways, once again, sorry about that. We'll do a quick revote. The first one was just a test. This is just a test. And the vote will last until the weekend, Saturday night-ish. That way I have Sunday to get ready and record and all that good stuff. So, but anyways, you know, like I said, go vote. Let me know what you guys want. And bear in mind that you can vote for more than one if you so desire. So if you want, you know, there's a couple different packs that really pique your interest, then, you know, feel free to vote on those. So, but anyways, with that, I'm going to end it, and I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys then.